Boom! What a satisfying way to cap off a very fun and entertaining and most importantly productive season by the Montreal Canadiens. The Habs defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-5 in the shootout, and that puts Montreal's record to end the season at 44-30-8. Montreal goes 7-2-1 in their last 10 games with wins against the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and get 96 points to end the season. And despite that, they just miss the playoffs. But our season ends on a very positive note. The future is so bright in Montreal. They took a massive step forward in terms of their individual and team development this year. And we, for the last 7 months or so, got to watch a glimpse of what the future is going to bring for this team. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Now let's get into the game from last night. The first goal on the night comes from Zach Hyman. A bit of a fluke one, bounces off of Weber after he wraps the puck around the net. Bounces off Weber's skate and in. Then the Leafs get the second goal on the night as well to start, and it's Jake Gardiner, a shot from the point. That actually bounces off of Shea Weber's stick as well. So 2 goals in a row flukishly go into the net off of Shea Weber. That one's assisted by Marner and Hyman. I don't know what it is with Hyman. This guy seems to love playing against the Montreal Canadiens. He has been a pain for us all year. Then Poehling gets his first on the night. Driving the scoring area. Playing with some confidence, goes into the dirty area, finishes the play, assisted by Jordan Wheel and Nikolai Deslauriers. Second period starts, and Poehling picks up another one. This one, a shot from the point from Jeff Petrie. Poehling tips it, hits the crossbar, and he still manages to get to the puck and finish it on Freddie Anderson. Also assisted by Nicolas Deslauriers. Then Montreal picks up a goal on the power play. Perfect time for this power play to get going the last few games, right at the end of the season when we don't make the playoffs and it's not going to help us out. But nevertheless, good to get on the board on the power play. Jordan Wheel picks it up, assisted by Armia and Drouin. Then Trevor Moore picks up one for the Leafs on a breakaway. Bit of a late change for the Habs there. Trevor Moore picks up one for the Leafs. There's tons of scoring in this game. What an entertaining game last night on Hockey Night in Canada. Bob Cole's last broadcast in the booth. Fantastic game. Lots of fun. I did a live stream of the game last night, by the way. You can go back and watch that if you'd like. Anyway, so Shaw picks up a goal for the Habs. What a nice play by the Montreal Canadiens there. Arturi Lehkonen behind the net, just drawing all the Leafs defenders one way, goes the opposite way to Max Domi, who then one-touch passes it to Andrew Shaw for the empty net goal. Beauty. Then Nylander picks up one late in the second for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nice wraparound goal. He draws Lindgren out of the net, too far away from that far post, and Nylander buries it on the wraparound. Third period starts, and about midway through, Kapanen picks up a goal, assisted by Austin Matthews. Nice pass from Austin Matthews to Kapanen in the slot, who just barely gets it past Charlie Lindgren, who's making an attempt on a desperation save. Charlie Lindgren, by the way, a couple weak ones to start, but they're a little fluky, and then after that, he played some solid hockey in net for the Montreal Canadiens. Looked real good. Potentially could be our backup for next season. Then, very late in that third period, it's 5-4 Leafs, and Ryan Poehling gets the Hattie, baby. Woo! Yes, what a player. What an NHL debut for this guy. Absolutely fantastic. This is a guy who finished his career in the NCAA with 107 games for St. Cloud, picking up 29 goals, 46 assists for 75 points in his NCAA career. It's looking like his offensive game very well could translate to the NHL level, and that's to go along with a very strong 200-foot game from Ryan Poehling. So that's very encouraging for the Montreal Canadiens. Our depth at center within the next few years could become the best in the league. It's insane the talent we have down the middle. Max Domi with 70 points. Philip Deneau, a fantastic defensive season, two-way center. He could have got Selke votes if we happen to squeak into the playoffs. He definitely would have won it, but he could have got votes. He had over 40 assists this season. That's very impressive from Philip Deneau. Then we got Jesperi Kotkaniemi, the guy. Unbelievable player. We know what he's going to become. Likely a top 6 center, possibly a bona fide elite #1 center. and then Ryan Poehling to top it all off. And don't forget guys like Nick Suzuki, Jake Evans down in the minors. Love it. Woo! So we go into overtime, great overtime period, back and forth, but we need the shootout to cap this one off, and it's Ryan Poehling who gets the winner for us in the shootout. What an NHL debut. Such a satisfying win to cap off a great season by the Montreal Canadiens. Our season gets to end on a positive note. Everyone optimistic about the future. Now, the Leafs, on the other hand, quite honestly, don't look like they're ready for the playoffs. They finished their season going 3-4-3 against some pretty subpar competition. Montreal had a much tougher schedule and finished off the season a lot stronger than they did. The Leafs have been having a lot of trouble beating teams outside of the playoffs. Not looking good for them. Their defense, not only just their decor in general, but their entire team defense is piss poor, to be quite honest with you. And that's not going to be good in the playoffs. And Freddie Anderson seems to be a bit tired. And the Leafs are going to be facing the Boston Bruins, who are an extremely strong hockey team, a complete hockey team, a team that's in their prime. It's going to be tough for them, and the expectations for the Leafs are high, and I'm really not sure they're going to meet them this year or moving forward, because after the season, it's only going to get harder. So our season gets to end on a positive note, regardless, even if we don't make the playoffs or not. It definitely would have been nice to make the playoffs and at least get a chance at making a run. Unfortunately, we don't get to do that this year, but it is what it is. In terms of the Leafs, not sure how their season's going to end on a positive note, especially if they get knocked in the first round, like what pretty much everyone is expecting. Stanley Cup contender, apparently, which is wild. So after this, we have the draft lotto coming up on April 9th. Montreal does have a slight chance at a lotto pick to get into that top 3. I'd say it's unlikely, but you never know. So April 9th, keep an eye out for that. That would be huge if we get that. That's a little bit of positive for us, despite not making the playoffs. Then after that, we have 9 picks. After our first round draft pick, we have 9 more in the 2019 draft, so we'll be able to stockpile our cupboards filled with more prospects. We've already got a top 10 prospect pool in the league, and we are going to add a ton of quality players to it. Hopefully, a bunch of left-handed defensemen. We got a ton of cap space moving forward. No issues about losing any players in the immediate future. We got plenty of cap, enough that Bergevin can make some moves and hopefully fill that hole on our left side defense. Get some offense on that left side D, which would be fantastic, and that would help improve our power play going into next season as well. Montreal finishes with the worst power play in the league, and despite that, end up with 96 points. It sucks in terms of this year and how it held us back, but moving forward, that's not an easy spot to improve, but a spot that will definitely see improvement next season, and they are going to be working on that throughout the summer, trying to figure it out, and of course in training camp, that's going to be a main focus, getting that power play going. And if Montreal has even an average power play, watch out. I cannot see us not finishing in the top 3 of the Atlantic next year if we get our power play going and keep our 5-on-5 play as good as it has been all year. Now, I just want to say, in terms of Ryan Poehling, great NHL debut, 3 goals, gets the Hattie. But the thing is, let's not pile like major expectations on this guy quite yet. He had a strong NHL debut. Let's be excited about what he's going to bring and what all of our prospects are going to bring, but let's not expect this guy to come in next season and be a point-per-game player. I think that's unrealistic. It's still going to be his first full year in the pros, and he's going to face some challenges, but it's still very encouraging to see him get up on the board offensively in his first NHL game. Let's just not pile too crazy high of expectations on the guy right out of the gate. Now, to go through some stats on the game last night, 49-49 were the shots, highly offensive game, 56-44, Montreal dominated in the faceoff dot. We're 1 for 1 on the power play, 1 for 1 on the penalty kill, and we smashed the Leafs, pushed them around, 25 hits to their 5 or 6, some midly low number. Now, in terms of stats over the season, Domi ends up with 28 goals, 44 assists, 72 points. Tatar, 25 goals, 33 assists, 56 points. Drouin, 18 goals, 35 assists, 53 points. We had a ton of guys getting up on the board offensively and having career best years. Deneau, 12 goals, 41 assists, 52 points. Shaw, 19 goals, 28 points, 47 points in 63 games. 47 points in 63 games for Andrew Shaw. That is impressive. Kotkaniemi, 34 points. Great rookie season for him, looking comfortable in the NHL, especially early. He's going to bulk up over the offseason and be ready for next season. Petrie, a career high, 13 goals, 33 assists, 46 points. Weber, 14 goals despite only playing 58 games. He finishes with 33 points in 58 games. Paul Byron, once again, was on pace for his consistent 20-goal scoring total. Gallagher, 33 goals on the season, 19 assists, 52 points for him. Great season from Brendan Gallagher as well. Then we have Lehkonen, a career high in points for him now. He surpassed his career high, so he had 31 points on the season. And Ben, a solid offensive output season for Ben, playing on that third pair, 22 points on the season. Fantastic season. Carey Price was absolutely lights out. It's a relief to... a lot of us didn't lose faith, but it is a relief to know he's still one of the best goaltenders in the world. Shea Weber as well was an absolute beast when he came back. Defensively, offensively, still one of the best defenders in the game. Things are looking up for the Habs, baby. It was such a fun season. Thank you guys for hanging out with me all throughout the season, watching my reaction videos, watching my breakdown videos. I appreciate it so much. I've had a lot of fun doing this and being here celebrating wins with you guys, and of course sitting through the losses as well. It's been an absolute blast. I cannot thank you guys enough. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. I'm going to be doing a season review video at some point during the playoffs. I'll release that. It's going to be a big project. Going to go in depth on team stats, player stats, individual performances, and break down players' games and the season as a whole, and share my favorite moments of the season. So keep an eye out for that in the next couple months. And of course, some reaction videos throughout the summer if there's any major news for the Habs. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ScotianCanadien. Cheers, guys. Go Habs, go, baby. Woo!